everybody. Matt, the Awakening Angler. We're out here this morning. I got a bunch of stuff going on today. We have our first guest ever on Fishy Friday. Nate, turn around and say hi to the camera.
Good morning, everybody.
It's my buddy Nate. He's the first person other than Courtney to ever come out and go fishing on the boat with me. And I'll show you guys at some point, I got my new YOLO Tech power stick today. So now we have unlimited amounts of power to run the camera, which is pretty cool. So I've learned a lot in the last month about this GoPro and the looping and all that. So this is pretty exciting. So we've got we're out here at the cliffs again, and we're gonna start in shallow, looking to see if we can find. We're throwing some hammer rigs in the weeds, looking for some big Waldo and skinny. And then we're gonna slip back out. We got a weird kind of a southeast wind this morning. So we'll see. We're gonna give this a couple shots and then we'll head back into the wind across the flat and drift across the flat and jig it. And if all else fails, we're gonna pull some worm harnesses. We'll see. So there's my intro. It's Friday morning. It's episode 3, Fishy Fridays. And I will put it on loop and wait for some action. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Everything else is up to me. Fucking smash him, dude.
Oh yeah, that's hot. That's a good one.
That gold blade. You can adjust that drag, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to tell you what. You want me to tell you what you got?
Smallmouth.
Sheepshead. They fight like a Dickens. Oh, I'd love to see a big fucking eye.
That's the walleye though.
Cheapy. And that's not a big one either. Growth on it.
Although I've heard that they eat well. If you get good ones. I don't know if I'd try it.
Did you ever come down in the shop and have lunch with Tommy and I? Shaved steak sandwiches or fucking fish?
Yeah, fish.
Then you've eaten sheepshead before.
Really?
I say that jokingly to you because you like to fish. There he is. There's got to be 15. Is a good board, measuring board. Hold them up for the camera though. Nice. Well, most every time, because you're letting it fall on a slack line. There we go.
Yeah, one? Yeah. Attaboy.
Feels a little better. Feels a little better. What do we got here? Ooh, it looks like a keeper too. Better hurry because he ain't hooked well. Ooh, get myself a fish measuring board. 16.
Nice. Nice, man. You got the first keeper though.
First keeper. Ah, I love the teeth on these things.
Yeah, he's got. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Back that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get him in the bowl.
Nice.
But I heard not
Good
from
hurt.
him.
There's one. There's one. There's one.
Is that a good one?
Feels like it.
Really?
Hit mark though. Yeah, you definitely poon a few of these. There's no question about it. Pretty little fish. Dot, 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 dot. Ah! Spot fishing them.
That's insane.
And he drives around these flats and sees them on the screen, reverses the motor, drops right on them like he's ice fishing. Dunk, 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 dunk. Boom.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the accuracy of the
yeah.
electronics. Like, I guess that's why I was the most shocked.
So this is a Garmin unit, and Garmin has this transducer that'll hook up to this called Panoptics. It's real time. It's real time. And you're watching the fish move, and you can follow them, and you can cast right to them.
It's cheating, man.
This is almost cheating, Nate. I said it to Courtney the other day. I'm like, I've never had a piece of electronics this good.
Right.
It puts me right where I want to be. We're drifting this way, we're casting this way. You don't have to make a bomb cast. You can go that far, a little farther. On a slack line, you want to let it hit the bottom. It's a 5/8 ounce blade, so it's gonna get down pretty quick. All right. So you can do it however. These 13 rods are nice because they got a nice full grip up above. But you can feel it as soon as I bring that tip up. You can feel it vibrate up through the line.
Then you're letting it hit all the way back on the bottom.
If you don't
dragging it up.
If you don't get back to bottom, you're not going to catch fish. You know. Now,
so you're not going crazy. You're just giving it a good one snap.
Yep. See, and you see where that line you're tight.
Yep.
Down.
Yep.
Now, and finish each drift. Finish each and every drift right to the boat, because there's a lot of times right here, which is where you're going to get it, because they'll follow it in all the way, and I'll go all the way till it's under the boat. And all that's going to happen sometimes. Now this is that suffix braid, which I love. Sometimes you'll feel them and they're pinning it to the bottom when it hits the bottom, so they watch it rip up. As it's going back down, they go like this.
They're holding it at the
and they hold it at the bottom. So when you come up, every time you go to come up is when you have to be ready, because as soon as you feel there's nothing out here on the bottom, as soon as you feel any resistance, you got to stick them because they got it.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing out. Can you feel it vibrate? Now you can be, what you're doing is a reaction bite. So what I'm gonna do right now early on is a finesse, see if they'll eat it bite.
Right.
And so, and then when I switch to the jig and wrap, that's a pure reaction bite, because you're snapping it. Like, you'll see me when we start fishing those, you're fucking whack whack. I mean, harder than you could ever imagine you would do. But they do those fucking walleyes do the same thing. They watch it. There he is. Ah, fucking right on, dude.
No shit.
Look at that.
Fishing the boat.
First one. Pretty little guy.
Oh shit. That's my first jigging walleye ever.
Stop it.
I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, next time you got to hold it up for the camera.
All right.
I
know. You seen with that thing?
Look. Yeah, we found him. We gotta get him dialed in here.
What are you using now? Finesse bait still?
I'm using that same one you've got on. It's got a black stripe on it, but it's still a gold blade.
Yeah, I use a lot of this fish's braid too. 832 or whatever it is.
Is that a fish?
It felt like it.
The suffix.
Suffix,
Is
yeah.
832.
That's right.
It's the... Okay, so... Whatever... It's got a little bit of body to it. And when you're snap jigging, if I use the regular green braid, it wraps around the tip of the rod. I'll trip out here in the last... Since the boat's been back. Look at the screen. I've only had one trip out here that I haven't caught a walleye, and that day I caught half dozen sunfish, a drum, and a fucking smallmouth. So I've yet to have a skunk day out here. I haven't caught something.
Really? Just looking down, man. It's the boat.
Oh, I got teary the other day. Oh.
I can't wrap my head around it. The fact that you found it, like, it's just it's so messed up. That's wild, man.
Everything I've done, I've just thought, you know, it's funny. The only thing about the way the boat's set up right now that he wouldn't like is that there's no top on it, because he didn't like being in the sun all the time.
All right.
He spent his whole time during the war in the tropics,
Right.
and had sun poisoning all over his arms.
He was done.
And yeah, so he was not a sit in the sun kind of guy. And there was a cover on this boat, the top, that tied at the, you know, it zippered at the windshield so you could stand up front, but the top was always up. You know, when I was a kid, I used to beg him to put it down because there was so much room in the boat to fish, because the top came back to like here.
Yeah.
So you'd only have this much room, and then there, of course, there was an engine hatch right there.
So you got two spots, really.
Yeah, and usually it was just him and I, so it didn't matter necessarily. But
He wasn't having.
I would have to beg him to put the top down, because I always thought the boat looked cooler.
Right.
And he did once in a great while.
It's like an old man's boat, Grandpa. It wouldn't hurt though. You know, if it's
I'm gonna have to do something that's removable,
right.
because Courtney likes to be able to sit in the shade too and get out of the sun, and I get it.
Yeah.
And if you were trolling, it would be fine.
Right.
Come on, Matt, let's get on the board here. I know the blade's working because you're using it, but I'm kind of itching. I've been doing so well snap jigging these things with that jig and wrap style stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so fast. Look at it.